the virtual treasures? Who's the believer? Building on base, no paper trace, living digital in this space.
Yo, 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 yo. Welcome everybody to another edition of Late Night. Or no, actually, this is not Late Night on Base. This is NFT Tonight every Thursday with my friend Base Junkie. Real quick, Base, I think you're trying to stream onto X, but it's something's going on. Do you notice that?
It's not working for me. Like, I think I'm in between. I might be changing the premium status of my account. Yeah, I need to double check it, but I think tonight we're just gonna be streaming on yours. I'll be streaming this to my YouTube channel at Base Junkie
Okay.
Crypto. In fact, if anyone wants to shoot your boy a sub, I think I'm up to 14 now.
Yeah, please, if you're watching this, go and follow my boy Base Junkie. Why don't you tweet it out though to at least the link to the stream? We can just send it to your people, because we got to make sure that we get the content up, get the viewers, my friend. Got to get the viewers
informed. Absolutely. I'm just going to shoot the tweet out now, linking them here.
Yes. So anyways, awesome to do this. Every Thursday, we talk about NFTs all day, every day. This is literally what this show's about. And today we're pretty excited because we're going to talk about NFT DAOs, and we're going to have Legendary on. We're going to have the Arwalk Capital team on, who've gotten to know and why we think, through platforms like DAOs World, I think NFT DAOs are going to be super big. What are your thoughts on that, Base?
I mean, so it takes an army to move a mountain, and one thing I learned in the 2021 cycle is that if you are just doing it as a team, even like a large team, like at the time we had 8 people, like you can only go so far. So if all the progress of the project is contingent on the progress of a few people, you can only move at such a pace. However, with a DAO, when the community owns the project and can vote on things, you have a lot more community ownership, and you see that people rise up through the ranks, and you can achieve incredible things as a strong community.
Yeah, and I think it comes down to the fact that people want to be part of a collective that has the ability to change the course of how things go, right? Instead of being a passive collector or investor, by being a part of a DAO, you have a sense of ownership, you have a sense of belonging, you have a sense of like, hey, this project's going to succeed not just based on one person, it's going to succeed through a collective effort. So people are going to work harder. That's kind of why, in the meme coin world, CTOs, for the most part, legit ones, do pretty well, because people feel like this is their project and they're going to work harder instead of letting someone else do it. So I think NFT DAOs are going to be extremely big. And I think it's going to be so big, in fact, that myself and you are going to be pushing something on Base in the coming weeks. And we're excited to talk more about that. And everything that we're going to be doing is strictly for the Base ecosystem, because we want to see this grow. We want to support other projects. We want to bring culture and art into mainstream on Base. And what better way to do that is than through a DAO, where all the voices can be heard. It's not your project, it's not my project. It's like everyone's project who's a DAO holder member. So I like it. But yeah, anyways, lots gone down this weekend, man. You're a Solana guy. Were you affected at all by the lay one?
So, I mean, I do dabble in Solana, but I'm keep my focus mainly on Base, because I think one thing that people are getting really sick of is the degeneracy we see on Solana. I mean, the way I see it is, Base is for the builders. Base is the builders chain, and Solana is the DJ's playground. So it's fun to gamble at the casino. It's fun to have a good time, and maybe make a couple of X's. But more often than not, coins go down. I mean, there was this article where it said that 99.6% of pump fund traders haven't even locked in 10K in profits. 99.6, like odds like that, you have better chance at the casino. So I think people are really starting to wake up to the fact that, we see the same influencers that keep saying, never stop clicking, don't stop clicking. You're only 100x away from changing your life, and they're peddling the same tired crap. And then with this Libra coin, this whole drama where nations are rugging, obviously there's bad actors behind the scenes, but people are like, wait a second, like what is going on? Like Solana's taken an absolute beating because of it, and I see already signs that people are migrating, moving to Ethereum, moving to Base, and are tired of the degeneracy in the casino. They're like, we want to support projects that are actually building. So I think more inflows will come to Base.
Yeah, I think it's now going to turn into people want to start believing in something again, instead of the whole Solana culture was just like, hey, PvP within the first hour, let me see what I can extract. I think the whole Libra thing is just indicative of that on steroids, and I think people are waking up that culture is not going to be found on Solana, it's going to be on Base, and I think Base is going to be one of the biggest beneficiaries. ETH and Base, and to my extent Pulse Chain, but that's separate. So what that means is I think, especially if Base does like a legit launch that's locked supply, that does no nefarious activity from a higher profile person, then it's a game over. Then I think Base solidifies itself. But what that means for us in the NFT world, the real builders are coming to Baseland. So Base eventually captures all that mind share from Solana. You are early if you are in the Base NFT sector. And like I said, Base has that mind share to do really well. So I think launching a collection on Base makes a lot of sense. I think building a Base makes a lot of sense if you're forward thinking. You're not just thinking about a quick buck like on Solana. So I'm very bullish on that. And before we get into Legendary, Base Youngie, why don't we just kind of look at some of the top collections on the NFT market on Base? Is there anything specific that caught your eye this last week?
Yeah, so two in fact, wow. Okay, so no punks. No, I'm always showing love to the no punks. The no punks fam are strong. I think highly undervalued. Currently, that in fact, I'll share my screen. Or are you sharing this now?
No. Share the screen if you want.
All right. Yeah, I'll just show just the page.
And again, guys, if you guys are watching this on X, YouTube, if you're on X, follow us on YouTube or Twitch. Please like and subscribe. Our reach is trying to grow to everything. Twitch, X, YouTube. The more that we grow, the more that we can help push the NFT ecosystem. All right, so let's see what you got.
All right, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
All right, so obviously we have a top one over here, which we'll jump into in a moment. But no punks, I was going to show love to them, up 100% on the day. Like, wow. I mean, we spoke to one of the top collectors, Toro, who's part of the Pocket Cows as well. I just want to give a shout out to Pocket Cows. In fact,
shout out to Pocket Cows as well. Yes, I'm a new holder of the Pocket Cow community.
As am I. Shout out to Toro. This was a collection he's been pushing since 2021. So I think if you find a project that has a team that is working through the bear market, that's somewhere where they're embodying that builder mentality and building for the long term. So shout out to them. But yeah, no punks 0.035 floor, up 100%, and wow. Going strong. Like I'm in the X chat, and it is always going. People are printing some stickers, getting the word out there across the world. So yeah, shout out to No Punks. And then the other one that is the fade of the week is Wealthy Hippio Babies.
Man, why are they? Is it because they're like I saw that they were almost like they were a 1 ETH floor, now they're above a 1.04. Why again? Is it because they're moving to Hyperliquid?
That's it. It is airdrop season. Today there's been two TGs that people have been farming and / collecting. One is the Kato airdrop.
Yes.
There's been lots of talks about the yaps, and it's freeing up some liquidity. People were speculating what they would be worth. Like, oh, could they be worth $100? They ended up being worth about $1. But still, yeah, I mean, some people made a few hundred, some people made a few thousand. Shout out to everybody who made a bag on that, so congrats. And then there was another one. Do you remember the project Pi from the last cycle?
No.
PI? Well, they had this thing like, oh yeah, you can mine the tokens on your phone, and basically like they sort of faded into oblivion. Like no, like everyone just forgot about them for like because they I think they're from like the 2017 cycle. They're like super old,
Uh-huh.
and they just launched today like their TGE, and yeah, I was in the group chat with some other people, and they said, oh yeah, all they got was dust for. For 5 years of farming.
They got dust, but the founders probably made out like bandits.
No doubt, no doubt. So, yeah, so it's airdrop season. People are, getting some airdrops, and there's speculation that the hyper liquid airdrop will be the one of the biggest ones of 2025. So, uh, I'm sure this is for people that are trying to qualify for that, because yeah, this has been top of the charts for quite a while now. I remember covering these since the .3 floor, and they've just, yeah, over and ETH. I mean, they're not far away from flipping base cards. Like that's
I know base gods are
powerful.
currently at a 1.15 ETH, but no, it's actually really crazy to see. And I think with the whole Remilia type vibe, I think Legendary, we're gonna bring on the next minute or so, he'll be able to kind of talk. And there's Shills I've gotten to know for a while. She was on a podcast for a women's Web3 podcast, and I know now she's now more into the NFT community. So shout out to you, Shills. I know you're a big No Punks lover, and I'm a big fan, especially after seeing Toro on the stream, having him on. My conviction grows, and of course, Base Junkie likes it. He's convicted. It's one of his top 2 collections on Base. So I think the future is bright. And imagine Base, if we have a fund, an NFT fund, a Base NFT fund that we are going to be working on. We have a pool of collective funds from everyone around the world who are all DAO members, who are all holders, who are all lovers of the ecosystem. Imagine what that can do for the Base ecosystem, how much we can lift it up. We can buy all the floor, like we can sweep the floors of No Punks. We can go Base guys. We can go, Miggles. We can literally bring up everybody. And I think that's the beautiful thing where we all win and we all put Base NFTs on the map.
See, I think this is the time where it's important that we band together because there's no doubting that we see that liquidity is starting to shift, and we see that actors on Solana are starting to migrate over. And we see, I saw Poe tweeting. He's been like a big KOL, bit of a grifter, but people like to have him in this project because
Bro, a bit of a grifter. No offense, huge grifter. But
huge grifter. Yeah.
he's like, then he made his huge bag, and then he's just chilling and laying low. So now he's not really grifting. But yeah, I mean,
But yeah, I mean, it's the same with a lot of these 2024 grifters. Like they bring the gambler mentality and they bring the degens. So I wonder, and like this is something that the core based community needs to band together and to maintain the ethos, the builder ethos. So by working together and not blindly aping these grifter KOLs, like this is like I think a DAO where we unite a base united community of several communities working together to uplift each other. Like I think this is the best way to move forward and to preserve our way of building.
absolutely. And again, when the DAO is created, the whole theory of a DAO is no one owns it. It's the DAO that owns it. And Legendary is going to talk about his. I think his DAO is has bought the Hippio baby. So I want to get his attention on that. But yeah, basically the DAO owns it. You preserve the collection. Everyone owns it who's a part of the DAO. And I guess rising tide lifts all ships and puts a lot of attention. So without further ado, let's bring up the man himself, Legendary, who is a part of Arwa Capital. Legendary, my friend, how are you doing?
Good. What's up, guys? How's it going?
Dude, good, man. Good.
Good to
First
have
of
you
all,
on.
I want to just say congratulations. I mean, you've been busy, man, with Arwa Capital. Just tell me, how does it feel that? Well, first of all, how are you feeling being able to successfully succeed on your mission of bringing this DAO onto on-chain?
Yeah, I mean, it feels good to have it out there. Definitely a lot of stuff happen from, the NFT mint to the DAO raise, some drama related to launching the token and stuff. But overall, I think it, provides a good way to kind of decentralize a whitelist system. Anyone that, met the parameters of the whitelist for the NFT was able to get an NFT. And if not, you could have bought one on secondary. And then that qualified you for the DAO raise. I think there was some friction with the idea just because there's not a ton of previous projects to base it on. But overall, I think, pretty well received. The Treasury is now buying Remilia projects. We did buy Hypeo. We were lucky enough to get in around 0.42 average costs with 3 of them. So it's just, I think the NFT DAO, you have art with it, you have a token with it, and then you also just give holders more of something. There's just more there. They have a treasury that, their NFT or ERC token is voting rights to. It's just more of a collective way to deploy capital in a fun way.
Yeah, so let's break this down, because I think it's important to highlight for people what exactly went down, because I'm very bullish on how you did things. I know Base Junkie is. I know we think what you're doing is amazing through DAO's world. All right, so talk to us. You have the collection. That's not a part of RWAC Capital. That was just the collection on its own to then, if you then to let you qualify for the DAO. So talk to us. First of all, talk to us about your collection itself. What was the purpose of that? Was that, and how is that, like, what are your plans for the actual NFT itself, regardless of the RWAC Capital part?
So the collection, I've always been a big fan of various Remilia projects, especially Bradbro and Schizo posters. So the collection definitely is inspired by those projects heavily. It has overlays of stuff that just has happened in the space recently, both like anti-Solana stuff, both anti-L2 stuff. It's just like to try to encapsulate all the needless drama that we've seen. I mean, a lot of people just get so caught up in chain politics versus building. It's like, just pick a chain and try something. So the art was just kind of supposed to be really unhinged and resemble that. And how it relates to RWAC Capital, it does have voting power in the DAO. So any proposal that is made on snapshot.box, that link right there, which is a pretty common decentralized governance website, you can vote with just RWAC NFTs. So you actually do have a say if you hold just the NFTs. So that's kind of how it worked.
So if you own the NFTs, and then Base, you can take over and ask some questions. Just my curious, so you own the NFTs, then do you also you have voting rights for RWAC Capital? And I think that's really cool. Are they airdropped like tokens, like through because the token itself is what represents ownership of RWAC Capital, if I recall. So then did you guys airdrop, I guess, the holders of the NFT tokens of the DAO?
Yes. So to compensate for that, since the ERC20 is claims to the DAO, I used half the mint proceeds to seed the DAO that involved airdropping 10% of the outstanding supply within an hour of launch. So that was, a lot of people said, wow, I only got, $8 worth of tokens per NFT. I mean, the whole goal of that was to distribute the governance and ownership token, regardless if people participated in the raise. And, a significant amount of the mint proceeds were used to facilitate that. So I felt like there was a little bit of misunderstanding there, but everything, I expected misunderstandings, and that's what I'm here to clear up.
Absolutely. Base, why don't you, I'm sure you have some questions.
Well, I mean, I think whenever you're trying something new, like you're going to have certain friction because it's new. Like that's part of trailblazing. Um, yeah. So, I mean, first of all, I'm a fan of the art. Yeah, it's very like um unhinged. I think that's the word you used. Um,
Definitely.
Yeah, it's like it's different. It's distinctive. It sort of follows kind of like the sort of Ramilia sort of style in a sense, but it's definitely very like I guess it feels quite punk rocky, to be honest. Like some of the colors, it reminds me of like some of like the 90s bands. But okay, so in terms of the DAO, you have the RWOC capital holders, people that hold the token, and then you have people that have the NFT and may not hold the token. So, like, how do you distribute the voting rights to include both parties?
So the NFT is just based on you. I did some math just to calculate the difference in voting power. So I believe the calculation was like 300,000 tokens per NFT. So on snapshot.box, you can use an NFT multiplier to mimic the voting weight of an ERC20. So although the supply of RWalk NFTs is 3,333, and the total supply of the ERC20 token is 1 billion, you can use an NFT multiplier to give it that equal weight voting power, which was the whole idea. Regardless if you hold the NFT or the ERC20, you do have say in the DAO, but the ERC20 is the claims to the treasury if ever voted to be disbanded or dispersed.
Okay, and talk about the treasury, because I mean that's also a very interesting aspect of it, because the fact that as a community you decide, okay, we're going to support the Ramilia ecosystem, and you're buying up these collections, supporting other builders, which is I'm all for that. I think that's fantastic. So for example, you mentioned the wealthy hippio babies. You so it's like you bought them for 0.42. Now it's a 1 ETH floor. That's a nice little profit. If so, I guess with that profit and with the airdrop that's coming out up from holding those, um, how do holders or participants in the DAO benefit from that? And at what stage do you decide to realize those gains?
Yeah, so these are all active discussions that we have in Discord, and probably we'll just solve it with governance votes. Anyone that is a token or NFT holder could make a proposal to sell a hypio. Right now, if you're a token holder, you could go propose that on snapshot.box, and it immediately goes to vote. If token holders decide they want to divest some of it, then we sell the NFT. That we have a higher net asset value if our assets appreciate, and the ERC20 token should reflect that since it's claims to it. If not, there's other ways we could go about it, streaming profits to token holders. These are active things we're actively discussing, even with other DAOs.world DAOs. How can we disperse assets to people if it might not be reflected in the token price?
Yeah, that's why I think it's just a brilliant concept, because there's a lot you can do. Because number one, it's great that this DAO isn't just falling on to legendaries like Lab. Like not everyone's going to be like, oh, legendary, you must do this, how a traditional project would. A DAO is decentralized vote. So I can easily see, you know, if there's an asset that appreciates, the DAO members come, vote a proposal, and if the vote passes, yes, we need to liquidate, then that's what you guys do. Now the way, and I think it's just the way it should be, because otherwise it'd be too stressful, just one person. And I think what I would do, you know, Base and I have talked about it. I mean, what I think is an easy thing to do is, if you have an asset that appreciates, maybe put it into a staking pool, take out the profits, and then distribute it to stakeholders, I guess, whether it's on DAO's World. You stake your tokens, and then you can claim, you know, the proportion of how much you're staking. I guess that could work. It might not be too much money, but that's one idea. But I'm sure, you know, the DAO, every DAO is different. And that's the beautiful thing about DAOs, is there's no one solution. It's the group community will come together and figure it out. Maybe they have other ideas. So have you thought about that idea, about letting DAO holders stake their tokens and then distributing profits that way?
Yes, I was actually looking at third web staking contracts for NFTs yesterday to try to get more value for Rock NFT holders. As far as the token, that is definitely a possibility. Could add a staking contract and stream profits or revenue to it. I just think it's all conversations and proposals
Absolutely.
that we'll have, and just because part of the reason I wanted to do it this way is I just feel like a lot of my first exposure to DAOs is like Nouns DAO and Nouns DAO forks, where people are trying to build in, you know, complete decentralization, which has a lot of drawbacks. So it's kind of just trying to find the right balance. You know, you don't want someone to be able to buy up your governance token and propose a transfer of the treasury right away. And so there's just a lot of things that go into decentralized governance, and there's a lot of bright people in the Discord and a lot of people that I can rely on for help. But it's just something that I think it's best to let the community decide, because, you know, there's not a clear path forward, I would say.
Yeah.
So just two questions on what you just said. One, did you have anyone try to buy up the supply
I was just about to ask that too. I was literally about to ask that.
I have not. So currently, I have to execute the transactions, and I think that's how we'll keep it, just for risk. You could build it out with on-chain oracles, where the snapshot vote, once it's completed, it's executed with an on-chain oracle, you know, without human intervention. But in noun style structures, yes, I've seen that was a repeated problem, was people would buy up governance tokens, immediately make malicious proposals to transfer treasuries. A lot of noun styles forks actually disbanded because of you really get into a war type situation if you're trying to run truly decentralized, because what stops someone from constantly accumulating tokens? And then they can delegate that voting power to other wallets. You might not know who actually owns the voting rights. So there's just a lot of ways that people can play with decentralized governance structures.
And the other thing I wanted to ask, I mean, it's a very real concern, I guess. You know, if it's within the parameters to transfer the treasury, you know, like unless it's possible to have like opening parameters, like when you start the DAO, like this DAO can never be transferred to one individual or something.
Exactly. Like right now, if someone tried to do that, I'm simply just not going to push that through. Like that's the safety net. But I'm just saying that there's DAO structures that don't have that safety net, where you're constantly playing defense. Ideally, it would be fully decentralized, but there's just those drawbacks of being fully decentralized.
And the second question I had was, you mentioned that you have people in the Discord that you trust and that you work with that are active. Do you have a council or is everybody just puts up a proposal as and when they think it's beneficial to the group?
So right now, no, we do not have a council. Anyone can propose anything. We have talked about raising the proposal threshold to maybe have where people need to hold slightly more assets to make proposals, and then anyone can vote. That's something we'll probably solve with vote. But the cool thing about it, the way it's been launched, is it really has just brought a bunch of outside people together, and you know, people that are large token holders that I don't even personally know have provided good input. And I think that just goes to show that like there's good ways to make different whitelist systems that can kind of bring people together organically, or attempt to be more organic.
I think I just have to chime in. I love what you guys are doing. Snapshot, like this is true decentralization governance of a project. I want to even ask why there's even FUD, because to me, you're running things extremely properly. Like I don't even know what there is to FUD. I mean, anyone who's trying to FUD this, like you guys are doing, like look at this. This is how everyone's voice is getting heard. You know, it seems like you guys did a proposal about maybe adding a Solana pool. Should RWalk put a liquidity pool on Solana? 22 DAO members voted, and it was 97 against, and it was rejected.
And it's funny because I didn't even vote. I mean, a lot of these I've just proposed to put out there, but I'm not voting on them. I'm just letting.
Amazing.
I personally don't really like Solana anymore. I have a ton of Solana NFTs. I've been on Solana for a very long time, but just people saying, would a Solana pool help? I'm like, I don't know. So let's put up a proposal. I proposed it, and almost everyone voted no. So it's just like a very quick way. But yeah, I think like the word DAO is just used very loosely now. I think like this is actually more along the lines of a real DAO, and
For sure.
and the FUD, yeah, it just comes from people maybe like having misconstrued visions of what a DAO is.
Yeah, and I think, like I was telling you privately, like you just ignore the haters, because like this is what a DAO is. This is what I'm trying to emulate as well with base chunking. What we're going to try to do, Snapshot. You have to use something like Snapshot, because otherwise, just the control is in one party. And as you're saying, you know, good for you for not allowing a malicious actor coming in to take control. I think for any new DAO community, I guess DAO, if you're ever trying to create a DAO of whatever, you have to have in the governance something like you cannot transfer ownership to any one person. Like you have to, I would just recommend laying that out. And of course, you might not have been able to do that because you're the trailblazer. You're the first one that is doing it on the NFTs. But yeah, man, like look at this. Someone's asked in DAO holder, let's purchase 3 ETH of Harry Potter Sonic Inu, which I don't know why you'd buy a meme coin. But yeah, everything was against it. And that's just beautiful. And I think this is the way that, you know, this community grows. Let me ask you this: in the Remilia world, like what has been the I guess, like what is the talk? Like what are the other, like the Milady community, like are they supporting you? Everyone, like what's the vibes outside of your community of, you know, the other assets that you're purchasing? Do they appreciate what you're doing? Do they understand? Talk to us about that.
I would say like there's skepticism around like any Remilia DAO, just because previous examples, and there a couple of the communities have been really receptive. I mean, I don't claim to be affiliated with anyone. I really just did it because I really like Remilia collections. I would say Radbro and the Schizo Posters community has been extremely supportive. I've always been a huge fan of 10x Degen and River God. They're just really good creators and drew a ton of inspiration. They've been very supportive, the whole Webring crew, Webring. So I would say overall the response has been great. You know, people aren't going to complain if you're sweeping their collection floors at a time where things are pretty distressed. But you know, I'm not trying to claim affiliation with anyone. Sure. It's just whoever comes in, and well, I want to support the ecosystem.
I love it. Base, you have any last questions before we let Legendary wrap things up?
I mean, it's fascinating. I didn't know about this snapshot website, but this is true decentralization. And you can see the people that bought into the DAO share your vision. They don't want to buy random meme coins. I see that the vote buy another milady, 100% yes.
You guys bought one.
So
Yeah, I mean, just before I got on here, we had a vote passed to buy 5 redacted Remilio babies. It passed, and we purchased those. So it's all been really cool, and I'd encourage people to check out Snapshot, even beyond Rock. You can look at countless other DAOs. I mean, Arboretum DAO, just a lot of DAOs that use that to run governance.
I can assure you, if we get our base NFT fund up and running, one of the proposals that will for sure get passed is sweeping a ton of RWalk to support what you got going on, because we got to support everyone. But no, I think this is great. I think Futters can literally, if anyone really is hating on Legendary, that I have an issue with that, because I think Legendary is trying to do something great, and he's doing it, novel and honest. But yeah, last words for you, Legendary. Anything you'd like to add to, we have about 200 plus listeners through many channels, Twitch, YouTube, X. Any last words for you, whether, those on the fence looking to buy in, or just you want to come out and eat FUD, or floor is yours, my friend.
I would just say take a look. I mean, it's trading at like roughly half its NAV, net asset value. I'm not saying that's financial advice, but I think it's undervalued relative to the treasury. And just like encourage people to look deeper, like check out the NFTs, check out the Discord, just pay attention to the people involved, and come get involved if you like what you see. Purchase a little bit of the token, purchase one NFT. You don't have to ape in. It can really just be, a pastime. It can be whatever you want it to be. But ultimately, everyone has a voice, and I think that's going to have value long term.
Amazing. And Base, did you know who recently just bought RWalk into the RWalk DAO? Pretty big person just bought into it.
Who?
Mr. Jesse Pollock himself.
Yo.
That's big.
Yeah, that's
Congrats,
another thing I'd like to say is just thank you to Jesse and Base team. A lot of people, Base gets a bad rap at times. It's hard for a new chain with all the politics. Like I said, I've even gotten caught up in chain politics. I try to just, whatever works best, but Base has been incredibly supportive. It was wild to see Jesse buy the token, mint NFTs, just nothing but support from the Base team, which has been incredibly cool to see and very motivating.
Yeah, and he didn't just buy like $1's worth. He bought I track his wallet, so I was like really popped up. It was like 0.33
ETH.
Yeah. That's what's up.
Yeah,
And
I was very surprised to see.
That's amazing. That's basically, that's just, that's what I want you to kind of realize. Like, ignore the haters. You got guys like Jesse who are loving what you do. He wouldn't be paying 0.33 to support anything if he didn't believe in it. Like, straight up. You got him. You got me in Base. Like, I'm Base Junkie. Like, we are going to support you. We're going to support you more. Like, we want you to be a part of what we're doing, like, as an advisor. We just love what you're doing. And so, man, just keep it up. And, yeah, man, I'm proud of you. Seriously.
Thank you. I appreciate all the support. Love what you guys are doing as well.
All right, Legendary. We'll chat later. Everyone, this was Legendary, and so check him out if you haven't done so already. I love what he's doing. It's like a true example of like showing what's capable on DAOs. And DAOs World, AZ Flynn has to deserve a lot of credit. They've created a platform that's just truly early stages of kind of capital formation. And AZ Flynn's probably one of the most intelligent humans that I've ever kind of come across. No Diddy, but I'm just saying he's a smart dude, and obviously Jesse understands what's going on. So I think it's gonna be big, and I think most people are still not understanding how it should be done properly or understand. But I think if it's done correctly, it'll be massive success.
I wholeheartedly agree. And to be honest, I think in any territory, whenever you're pushing the boat out or trying something new, it's normal to expect some FUD. Like people hate for whatever reason, but it's easier to knock other people down than to build something yourself. And one of the things I really like about this whole DAO system is that you don't need to build your own castle. You don't need to build your own thing. You can build something together, and I think that really captures the ethos of the builders building together.
Yeah, not only builders building together, but again, raising the entire ecosystem. So I think those, I think it's just early stages, like I said. And when you have a token involved, I think in NFT land, most people understand the NFT side of things. But when you add a token and governance, they probably just don't understand it at all. And then they don't see number go up. They probably get upset. So, you have to be kind of have to balance the line. But anyways, but what else space? So
to talk a bit more about what legendary was saying.
Yeah.
The fact he said that the token is like about half it's trading at half the trading value of the assets they have. I mean, that shows that by as a treasury accumulating these NFTs and stuff, that they can be going up in value. Then when the DAO chooses to liquidate them, they could be getting a two for one deal. So I think by working together, accumulating, and having like an exit strategy for each step of the way, either buying back the token or some of the other ways that they were suggesting to reward holders, like in the long term, the governance token will naturally climb.
Absolutely. And I think like imagine in 2021 if there was like I don't know if they had those on ETH, but like the DAOs, but like I think there were DAOs on ETH in 2021, and just being able to access, pre-sales, access whitelist opportunities. If you're a true big DAO, like I think that's the thing. If you're going to be in the DAO world, you need to make a name for yourself. You need to be able to make an impact, because then you can bring in the benefits to the DAO holders. So I think the more perks you can get, not only voting rights. And was that your first time seeing what Snapshot was all about?
First time seeing that platform, yeah.
Snapshot's great. Highly recommend it. It's like super simple, easy face, and that's truly how you can just make any proposal you want, because without proposals, there's no decentralization, right? So I think if you're going to be in the DAO industry, you have to use something like Snapshot. No need to reinvent the wheel. But yeah, I think you have people vote on all sorts of things. You have maybe like a constitution prior to getting in, like, hey, these are the things. Don't even think about trying to buy in and transfer ownership. So you just think about all the malicious things. The rest is up to, the community. I think that makes sense. And I think if you bring in value, like I think a DAO right now is buying a golf course. An NFT DAO is buying a golf course. Did you hear about that one?
I did not, but man, I love it. I love the concept.
Absolutely. We have the man. I don't know who you are, but I gave us a high five. It looks like high five to you, the man. Welcome to the show. No, I think it's interesting. And so, but yeah, before we wrap things up, I mean, listen, I think this has been a really, really good discussion. I think regardless, like I'm excited for what we're about to push out. But again, I just want to unite base. And I think NFTs, like, when do you think, let me ask you, when do you think the NFT market's going to start pushing a little bit more?
I think closer than we think, to be honest.
Closer than we think.
Yeah. I mean, right now we are on the tail end of a meme coin cycle. Now, I think I don't think this is the end of meme coins by any stretch. I still think that meme coins will have. I think they'll have another push, like a little bit later in the in the year, possibly like on the tail end of this year. But for now, the vast majority are quite fatigued, especially with the Solana casino.
Yeah.
So I see more people moving into longer term projects and longer term chains such as Base. Now, when people are looking to rotate that meme coin money into a longer term community, something that is a little bit less liquid,
yeah,
and has a strong community, I think the natural move is NFTs. And with Solana people moving to Base and meme coins moving to NFTs, I think very soon we see an on-chain summer. I mean, maybe an on-chain spring for the
Yeah.
NFTs on base.
I think so. I really do. And I think the moment it happens, it's going to happen fast, because you have to understand, especially on base, it is not saturated. NFTs in general is not a saturated market. It's not like you're popping up collections every single day, and especially on base. Right now, there's like the top, you can probably name off the top of your head the top 5 or 7. That's it. So when money flows in, you're going to start, people are going to find the top collections that have already been in place or working on it. So it'll capture a lot of interest. And then once people see, oh, these collections are catching a bid, just like with anything, then other people are going to start creating their own projects, and then it's just a race. But yeah, man, I think Solana's cooked. I think it served its purpose as the DJ and casino, but I think now coming to base, it's literally the place. I know people like abstract, I know, but it just doesn't seem like, it seems very niche. Like, I know everyone loves abstract, but like, I think base is the place where they can grow so much, as long as if they help promote NFTs, game over, man. That's how you onboard retail.
I strongly agree. You know, I'll be honest about the whole abstract thing. Like, I kind of thought they would rock the boat a bit more. I thought they would make bigger waves, but it's kind of been a bit lackluster to this point. I mean, I think there's a lot of communities that are building on abstract, but there isn't really a lot there yet. However, you know, we see Jesse Pollock on the streets, and we see the base team is expanding global. Like, they are, like, the mission is clear, and that base is the builder's chain. So I think while there's this ambiguity on some of these other chains, people are just moving onto base, building on base, and you know, I think, you know, 2025 is going to be a huge year for us.
Well, not only that, I think today's news just came out that Robinhood is integrating Coinbase. I think you can like directly deposit into your Coinbase account from Robinhood, which is insane. That's just like retail galore. So that's the thing. Like, to me, it's like there's ETH, there's Solana, and there's Base. Like, no one's going to any of these other side chains, and the random retail is not going to be in the trenches going to like 20 different chains. They just want an on ramp. That's it. And most of we're in an echo chamber. So I think Base is now getting into the true normie feel. That's who you want to be aligned with. And I'm so like pumped to let me and you are in this space doing what we're doing before everyone else. But I'm also pumped for everyone listening. If you're listening to the stream, you're one of the 250 listening to the stream, you are early to Base NFTs, like super early. I feel without a doubt 6 months from now, you know, we're going to have 10 times the amount of viewers on this stream, because everyone's going to start coming in. So I'm blessed, man. I feel blessed. Just got to give a shout out to Just On Chain, a huge fan or supporter of our work. Let's Touch Base family. Great live chat. Bill and Base Junkie DAOs, when done right, can really help with the building culture Base has been preaching about. Well said.
Yeah, Just is an absolute Chad. You know, always good to see him in the Telegram, see him on the spaces. Yeah, and also he's a creative guy. I saw he wrote some lore for the base colors. I had a good read of that. Yeah, better than ChatGPT.
Absolutely. And yeah, if you guys are always wanting to have more access to Base Junkie, myself, Rachel on Chain, just come to our Telegram community. It's about 500 of us. We're always there. We always want to help support each other, because that's what I think the core message of Base is: uplift one another, help one another, which is why, you know, I'm so happy to eventually start pushing our Base DAO, because my goal is strictly I want to lift everyone up in the Base NFT ecosystem. That's strictly this. I want to be a part of something that can help communities and help put Base NFTs on the map. I want to buy the Base gods for the community. I want to buy, or I want to like participate in a community that buys Base gods, whatever, literally anything, the niggles, any of that. That's what I like, because I like to help people. And I think that could be very profitable as well for the DAO holders. So everyone wins.
Honestly, I think the timing of it is perfect, because, and I think the ethos of buying different projects, supporting different builders who actually like have a promising future. Because like when you think about investing in the S&P 500, yeah, you can pick and choose random tokens, but 9 times out of 10, buying the basket of good outperforms. So having a treasury where you're not having to use your own capital to be like, okay, I need to buy this or this. Together, getting the consensus from the community, getting the opinions and information from the entire DAO, like everyone state the projects you want to support and why.
Yeah.
Like we can pull together and uplift multiple, get skin in the game on multiple different NFTs, uplift them all. And as you mentioned, in a few, like as the NFT season really pumps, we'll be getting more viewers to this. The project will be giving more exposure to the projects that we are including in the DAO. Prices will be going up, and anybody who is in is already a member of the ecosystem at this stage. So yeah, I'm excited to get moving on this because I think the timing is perfect.
Yeah, I think we'll have more information on this in the next week or two, but I think we're going to be moving fast on this. And of course, if you're an NFT Tonight listener, we'll give you the earliest access possible, because when we commit to something, we commit it pretty hard. And I think we have a platform that can talk about this. That's great, but we have a platform, more importantly, to have other projects come to talk about what they're doing. And I think that is really cool because we can lift them up, and then we can have them talk about it and capture more attention. That's how base grows. I want every collection to win, to succeed. And then everyone starts saying, wow, the NFTs on base are just incredible. Strong communities, prices are great. Everything is going on. Guess what happens then? Everyone will start coming to base. And that's how we bring the world on chain, on base. Exciting stuff, Base Junkie. Any last words for you, man, before we wrap it up?
Man, I'm just excited to get moving because yeah, I think strike while the iron is hot. We see that the capital is moving from Solana to base, meme coins to NFTs. The time is upon us. So yeah, I'm excited to be doing this NFT Tonight show with you and working towards building a community DAO that supports NFTs across base.
Absolutely. So guys, if you guys are a builder or project on the space, you want to be on the show, please hit us up anytime. We just want to talk to base builders any time of the week. We just want to support as many people as we can. We appreciate each and every one of you. Every Thursday, noon PST. I don't know what that is UTC, but
8 p.m.
Google it.
UTC.
8 p.m. UTC. We're worldwide, bruvs. Come on and join us. We're pretty much, I think, the only NFT based show, especially, I think, to be honest with you. I don't know. Like this, maybe not. Live stream, I'm pretty sure we are. But
we are.
yeah, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, come out, hang out. We just want to talk alpha, talk base. The market might be a little dead. Just hold on tight. The market's not done yet. So appreciate each and every one of you. We'll catch you next week. Cheers.
Stay based.